The best tools keep things nice and tight, but what tools am I referring to? And why is tightness important? Well, loose connections overheat. Overheating causes fires, but what causes loose connections in the first place? There's four main reasons that I'm going to talk about here. The first one is that they were never tight enough in the first place. Now, the tools I mentioned earlier, this is some of mine. Now, you might be familiar with a flat blade screwdriver, which is that flat one of mine, or a posi drive, which is as it says, it looks like a positive on that end. But when it comes to tightening up circuit breakers, which is these, and some other things as well, there's a lot of connections using these, you'll see in the top there, that is a cross between a posi and the flat blade in one. And there's actually a special screwdriver for that, which is this one. If you can see, it's got a flat edge and the diagonal edges, which is it's a combination of those two in one screwdriver, and that gets extra tightness. So that's one thing. The second thing is that cables can just work their way loose over time. When things heat up and cool down, you get expansion and contraction, and that happens more on the larger cable sizes like ovens and showers, but it also happens on light circuits too, and they can become loose at the switch and burn a switch out. Shower pull cords were forever replacing, because if those aren't tightened up properly in the first place, and then they expand and contract over time and come loose, and they haven't been checked, then those burn out too. And number three, talking about checking things, that's one of the reasons that you do electrical inspections. So every now and then you should be checking them, or getting someone to do it for you, more importantly, because you do need to have the power off, you do need to have the right tools to check the tightness. And so you can see how these three things so far kind of lead on from each other. And the fourth scenario that we're going to mention today is that the cables and the loose connections just aren't accessible. So that could mean that they are hidden behind furniture that's been put over something that's no longer used, or it could be under the floor. There could be a mountain load of junction boxes. This used to be quite common, unfortunately, and with DIY it's common too. If the builder or kitchen fit has been on it, chances are there's a load of them there too. So these can come loose in places that you can't access, which is a lot more dangerous, as you can imagine, because even when you inspect something that's in accessible places, you can put that right. Making sure that there's not loads of junction boxes is another thing, and that can be tested too. You can actually tell whether there's junction boxes even without lifting the floor, and that is something you can get on an electrical inspection. So 4 things there that cause issues with overheating caused by loose connections. So hope that gives you something to think about, and if you want anything checking out, definitely have a word with an electrician in your area, but I hope that helps.